Picture this. It's 1937. The NFL is a grinded out, smash mouth game. Nobody throws the ball. Nobody. Coaches think the forward pass is a gimmick, a move you only use when you're desperate. The game looks nothing like what you watch today. Then a 6'2" cowboy from Sweetwater, Texas steps into the league, and within one season, nothing is ever the same again. His name is Sammy Baugh, and if you've never heard of him, you need to fix that right now. Early life. Samuel Adrian Baugh was born on March 17, 1914, in Temple, Texas. He grew up on a farm in Sweetwater, a place so remote and so flat that you could see the horizon in every direction. There wasn't much to do out there, so Sammy threw footballs. He threw them constantly. He'd rope a tire to a fence post and fire the ball through it for hours, and not just passes. Over and over, he wasn't just playing. He was training himself to something the football world had never seen. By the time he got to Texas Christian University, TCU, Baugh was already a man apart. He led the Horned Frogs to 29 wins over 3 seasons, earning All-American honors twice, took them to the Sugar Bowl and to the Cotton Bowl, and became one of the most celebrated players in the country. He also got a phone call from the St. Louis Cardinals, the baseball team. They wanted him too. Sammy Baugh could have had a career in Major League Baseball. He chose football instead. The NFL had no idea what was about to hit it. Rise to greatness. The Washington Redskins, now known as the Washington Commanders, drafted Baugh in the first round of the 1937 NFL Draft with the 6th overall pick. He arrived in Washington, D.C. wearing a 10-gallon hat and cowboy boots, which the Redskins PR team had specifically asked him to do. They wanted the people of D.C. to see a real Texas cowboy, and Sammy played along, even though he'd been in the city long enough to know better. But the moment he got on the field, nobody was laughing. In his very first NFL season, Baugh led the Redskins to the NFL championship. His first year, as a rookie, he torched the Chicago Bears 28-21 in the title game, throwing for 335 yards, an astronomical number for 1937, storming back from a halftime deficit. Washington won the championship, and the city went wild. Slingin Sammy Baugh had arrived. Greatest moments and stats. Let's talk about what Sammy actually did, because the numbers are staggering, even by today's standards. He played 16 seasons for the Washington Redskins from 1937 all the way to 1952. He threw for almost 22,000 yards and 187 touchdowns over his career, completing 1,693 of 2,995 passes. He led the NFL in passing 6 times, a record he still shares with the Hall of Famer Steve Young. But the passing was just one part of the story. Sammy Baugh was also one of the greatest punters in NFL history. He averaged 45.1 yards per punt for his career and retired holding the NFL record for career punting average. In 1940, he punted for a single-season average of 51.4 yards per kick, a record that stood for 83 years, finally being broken in 2022. And then there's the defense. In this era, they used the one-platoon system, also known as Iron Man football. He played both ways, offense and defense. Baugh dominated at the safety position, becoming one of the era's most talented safeties and intercepting 31 passes. Here's what is really mind-blowing. In 1943, Sammy Baugh led the NFL in 3 statistical categories on 3 different sides of the ball, passing, punting, and interceptions, in the same year. Nobody in the history of professional football has ever done that. Not even close. Arguably, the most dominant single season in NFL history. That same year, there was a game against the Detroit Lions where Baugh threw for 4 touchdowns, intercepted 4 passes on defense, unleashed an 81-yard punt, and forced a fumble in the same game. He was named to the All-NFL team 7 times. He went to 6 Pro Bowls. He won 2 NFL championships. And in 1963, when the Pro Football Hall of Fame opened its doors for the very first time, Sammy Baugh was part of the charter class and the only player voted unanimously. Legacy and cultural impact. When Sammy Baugh came into the NFL, the forward pass was seen as a trick play, a last resort. Coaches genuinely believed you should run the ball nearly every down and only throw in desperation. Baugh didn't just disagree with that philosophy, he demolished it. By the time he retired in 1952, the forward pass was the centerpiece of NFL offenses. The game had been transformed, and the man most responsible for that transformation was a farm boy from Sweetwater, Texas, who spent his childhood throwing a football through a tire. Think about every great quarterback you've ever watched. Every time a quarterback drops back and rifles a pass downfield, there's a line that traces back to Sammy Baugh. He didn't just play the game, he reinvented it. The Washington Commanders, formerly the Redskins, have retired his number 33. TCU retired his number 45. He was named to the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team, and in 1941, he was so famous that he starred in a Hollywood movie serial called King of the Texas Rangers. Sammy Baugh lived to the age of 94, passing away on December 17, 2008, at his ranch back in Texas, right where it all started, a cowboy to the end. Sammy Baugh wasn't just great, he was the blueprint. He was the proof that this game could be something more than mud and brutality, that a man with a golden arm and an iron will could change football forever. If this is your first time hearing his name, share this video with a friend who needs to know the history. And if you already knew who Slingin Sammy was, drop a comment below and tell us your favorite fact about him. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going back through NFL history and bringing the legends back to life because greatness doesn't die, it echoes.